interview questions and how you might respond to them. These are some of the most frequent interview questions that we've had in this particular session, and really they're the most frequent interview questions that are asked in general. So I'm going to go through them quickly and give you an idea of what kind of responses they're looking for as you guys prepare for your interviews tomorrow and Tuesday. All right, here we go. First one is tell me about yourself. Now, when they ask this question, normally it's going to be the first thing that they say. Tell me a little bit about yourself. And they're not asking for a biography. They're not asking for you to give them all of the highest and lowest points of your life. What they're really asking is what makes you tick? What are you passionate about? What you want to do is you want to try to land this on your through line or your thesis, which is I'm the best candidate for this job. For instance, I might say, uh, I'm really passionate about education and I love music and creativity. Those are probably the two strongest characteristics about me, and I try to blend those two things to create a dynamic classroom environment for my students. So I landed it back on why I'm a qualified teacher while still telling a little bit about myself. Okay, so next up, best or worst qualities. Both of these are kind of weed out questions. They're looking to see if you're super conceited and arrogant. They're also looking to see if you lack confidence. So you want to state this with confidence, but you also want to avoid sounding arrogant. So if they ask, for example, what are my best qualities? Rather than just saying, listing off an incredible list of all the things I'm terrific at, I might say, I think my best quality is my ability to communicate with others. And then, instead of just saying that and letting it stand there, like I'm great at this, I support it with an example. So I'll say my best quality is communicating with others. For example, I try to apply this in the classroom all the time. And when a student who might be trouble in the classroom, rather than yelling at them or throwing them out of the class, I'm able to have a short conversation with them, and normally that'll help mitigate the situation or something like that. So that quality really shines in the classroom in that way. Now, on the flip side, they might ask, hey, what are your worst qualities? This is a little bit of a tougher one. Don't be the person that says my worst quality is I care too much. But you want to be clear that you have a quality. You're self-aware that you're not perfect. That's what they're looking for first. And then support it by saying, hey, I'm actually trying to get better at this, or here are ways that I account for that. For example, I would say my worst quality is that I'm so focused on the big picture and on moving us towards the end goal that sometimes I lose track of some of the details. However, I definitely am aware of this, and I have several systems in place that help me remember things, such as keeping a pretty precise calendar. Right? So I told them my worst quality, and it's honest, it's true. But there are things that I'm trying to do to get better at it. I understand that I'm not going to stay at that spot. All right. Next up, they say, tell me about a time when you. Normally, this is going to have something to do with leadership or problem solving. Tell me about a time when you displayed leadership positions, or tell me about a time when you had to deal with a conflict. Now, this is storytelling time. You should be able to tell a story where you are a great leader, or where you helped solve a problem, or where you ran into an issue and you had to come up with a solution, right? Or you had to deal with a conflict. Keep your stories on point. Try not to vary too much and just say, hey, here's what happened. I was in this position. I was given this responsibility. Here are the circumstances. Here's what I did to fix them. And here was the outcome. And if you kind of follow that template and you move along pretty quickly, you'll be in good shape. You don't have to introduce all the characters in the story or name them by name. Just here was the situation. Here's the responsibility I have. Here's what happened. Here's what I did. Here's what happened after that, and here were the end results. Okay, next up. What changes would you envision making in your new role? So this is really important. This is just you being prepared. Do you know what Shine Designs is? Do you know what Shine Designs is all about? Do you know who actually gets the product, where we get it from? Do you know the responsibilities of your role? If you do, you should have a little bit of an idea of what you want to bring to the table, what changes you are going to make. So if you're going for chief marketing officer, okay, We had some success with marketing. You should know that, but we had some failures as well. So here's what I'm going to do differently. Here's how I'm going to help move the ball forward for marketing at Jaya Designs, right? Or if you're going for the chief executive office, okay, here are a couple of goals I have in mind, and I want to build off of the momentum that we already have, right? So try to be as specific as possible. And really, what you're displaying here is not how great your plan is. That's not important as much as it is how prepared you are, right? Because these plans change, of course, once you have the position. All right, character questions. They might ask, how important is respect to you? And again, follow that same model. Say it's important, but then support it. Say, I believe respect is important because uh, in order to receive respect, I must be willing to offer respect. I need to treat everybody as an equal and give everybody an equal say in every conversation I have and give them responsibility. When I do that, they're going to trust me to have responsibility with my position as well. And that's the way that we can work best together. Something like that. Or they might ask you, how important is honesty? Again, agree with them that it's important and then explain why. Make sure that you support it. What do you do for fun? Uh, they're really looking for, are you a well-rounded individual? If you say, I do nothing for fun, they're going to be a little bit worried about you, right? So, and this is also a great place to connect with people. If you play a sport, the person that is interviewing you might have played a sport, or if you love to travel, the person interviewing you might love to travel. So it's a good connection point. But again, just a quick hitter response. I do these things for fun. I really enjoy them. Make sure they have something picked out that you do for fun. Don't say nothing. That's probably a bad look. Also, don't include any illegal activity in your conversation about what you do for fun. All right. Next, how is your faith a part of how you operate? How does your biblical worldview, your Christianity, impact the way that you lead and are going to lead in this position? You should have a pretty well thought out idea here, right? What is Christ called you to, and then how do you serve others through your leadership position? And so, if you, I can't really tell you how your faith operates in you, but I know for me, I would respond by saying, I believe that God has created every individual fearfully and wonderfully. They are designed to have an incredible impact on this earth. And so I try to treat every single student in that exact way, that they are a cherished son or daughter of God. And through approaching it that way, we build relationships, and I can be there in times when they're struggling, and I can celebrate in times when they're having a wonderful day by trying to put on the lenses that Christ asks us to see people through. All right, so something like that. Now, I've been thinking about that phrase and could answer it a few different ways. I've been thinking about it for 12, 13 years now. But how do you serve others and live out your faith walk through the way that you lead? Then finally, there'll be random questions, questions that are not listed here. They might not even ask any of these questions. Your approach should always be take a beat, collect your thoughts. You don't have to respond right away. Collect your thoughts and then state your stance, yes or no, or I agree or I disagree, or this is what my favorite thing is, or whatever. And then support it. Give us a brief story about why and how. And if ever it's relevant, point to the resume. If you're talking about a time where you volunteered, point to the resume. You say, as you can see in my volunteer section, I have gone to the DR and I've gone on 3 other missions trips. So that is one of the things that I do for fun, but it's also a way that I live out my faith walk. Yada, yada, yada. You get the idea. Okay, I hope this was a helpful little video for you. Good luck tomorrow and Tuesday. Can't wait to see how you do.